the Philosopher King, today on Fortitude Through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. Full disclosure, complete transparency, the last 24 hours I have failed epically as a Stoic. I allowed others to push that anger button. I allowed others to influence my emotions. And like usual when that happens, a lot of things are said and people are lost. So it's interesting, today's lesson, because I'm in a position of leadership in my family, my house, my business, everything, right? The quote today by Musonius Rufus: "For I believe a good king is from the outset, and by necessity a philosopher, and the philosopher is from the outset a kingly person." So, looking at Plato's Republic and looking at some other quotes, an Israeli general actually has a good one. He says, "People used to tell me that business administration is for the practical life and philosophy is for the spirit." He said, "Though through the years I've found it is exactly the opposite. I used philosophy much more practically." And it's interesting because war and leadership offer us an unending series of ethical dilemmas and decisions that require philosophy, priorities, balance, clarity. Even yesterday with me, it's interesting because in one moment I forged a partnership with a longtime friend that we've been working on something for 2 years, and we finally at the end of something really, truly special, life-changing. And on the other end, I had a relationship with my 28-year-old daughter that I didn't think it was. I thought it was much more than apparently it was. And she told me exactly how she felt. And it hurt. But the more she screamed at me, and the more she yelled at me, and the more walking down the road in literally Main Street, Woodstock, New York, screaming at me, didn't tell her I loved her enough, didn't tell her I was proud of her enough, all the things. The more she yelled, the more she screamed, the more calm I got and the more clarity I actually have. And I was thinking to myself the whole time, hurt people. What she's saying just isn't true. It is just simply not true. So she has deep-seated anger that she hasn't healed from. And I realized as I was thinking about my own situation with my own father, preparing for this weekend, the other day, I had an 11-minute phone conversation with my dad. It is the longest conversation that I've had with my father in my entire life. And I ended the conversation at 11 minutes because it didn't feel right. It felt odd. It was I was in unfamiliar territory. So, hey, Dad, gotta go. I got shit to do. I'll see you tomorrow, right? I ended the conversation because we were both opening up. It's uncomfortable. And I realized that most of my life, my father never told me he loved me, never told me he was proud of me. I hated him and blamed him for so much of my life. And then I became a father. And then I realized, as a man, the unending battles that we are constantly fighting. None of us are perfect. There is not a perfect parent out there. So God, whether he said it once or a million times, it was never going to be enough. It was never going to be enough for any of us. So if you are an adult from childhood trauma and you haven't healed yet, God damn it, fucking give him a break, man. Your dad, your mom, whoever it is. Because when you get here, I mean, I've fucking now 4 of my kids won't talk to me. I refuse to believe it's because I'm a bad person. I have very, very, very firm boundaries. My 3 youngest children don't understand what's happening yet. That's a different battle. But with my oldest, there's a lot of pain in there because she grew up not knowing who her father was. And the more she yelled at me, the more I was thinking, this is healing for her. And then I did. I flagged it. I said, keep coming. Because the more you get that out, the more you say those things, the more relief you're going to feel. So the only thing that I could do for her was be a punching bag. That's philosophy. That's philosophy. Initially, her words hurt. Then I realized they were untrue. Then I realized it was really her that was hurting. So I wanted her to get all that out. Hopefully, she can heal now. Or at least she can have someone to hate. Because for me, hate is like fuel for me. And I was thinking about this, Sam. I did a long walk today to process everything that happened this weekend. About an hour and a half walk, I think it was. A lot of thoughts going through my head. Realize parents aren't perfect. Give them some breaks, right? But I also realize what self-respect is. I would never scream at my father in public. That's a me and you conversation over here. My mom? Yeah, I screamed praise when mom was around, how amazing she was. I would never pull the shit that my daughter pulled in public. I don't care how mad you are. You take me, let's go home. Have it out. Let's go. I want to hear it all. But to do that in public, that is not love. It's not love. That's anger. That's hate. It's not respect, because then you're screaming in front of everyone. Very sensitive stuff. But moreover, then I look at the way she treats herself, and I love her. I love her to death. And it pains me every day to see her hate herself the way that she does. What do you mean by that, Shawn? Isolates and literally gorges herself with every kind of nasty food you possibly can. But celebrates that like it's glamorous. That is the deepest form of self-hate. And it breaks my heart. So hopefully now, if she has someone else to hate, maybe some healing, maybe she'll start to learn to respect herself. I'm taking a note out of all this because, again, I model match. I let people around me that are a different personality type. The blues, the emotion-based thinkers who are controlling by nature. Blue, colorcode.com. Fire and ice. It's interesting because I'll sit next to a blue and I can feel my energy like rage and bubble. But then when I meet my partner David, as soon as I see him from fucking 300 feet away, it's like all of that melts because he has that counterbalance energy to me. So the entire time we had dinner was the most amazing experience. Love his energy. So again, yesterday you had the highs, you had the lows, and the philosopher has to balance the middle, keep it all in perspective, make hard choices. I've told everyone my entire life, this is my direction. I post it publicly online. I fucking planted my flag and tell everyone where I'm going. And then what I do is I invite people on my train. People come and go. And I was thinking about this in my walk again this morning. I call that the churn. In business, it's the same thing. I call that the churn. It's like when you churn butter, right? In business, you go through clients, you go through whatever. In this type of life, when you go through the churn, the cream rises to the top. So I have, like David, I've known David since 2002. What are we at? 22 years, 2003. 21 years I've known David. That's my entire professional career that I've known this man. We've stayed in contact, worked on projects, no conflict. That's amazing energy. That's an amazing person. And you only find those relationships by the churn you have to go through. So realize you are the CEO of your life. You must hire and fire accordingly. And I got to tell you, it cannot be an emotion-based decision. It has to be logic-based. Is this person good for me or not? And if they're not, and if you're a logic-based thinker, to switch. I convince myself in my head this person is not good for me, perhaps even dangerous. All of a sudden in my head, they're the enemy. It's a switch. I fall easily. My heart opens abundantly. But then as soon as my brain detects something's off, man, switches off, power's cut to that thing, man, it's over. I've conditioned myself over the years to be able to do that. So when people start yelling at me, saying all these hurtful things, it does not hurt me. I hope it makes you feel better, but it doesn't hurt me. It motivates me. It strengthens me. It gives me resilience. You can't hurt me. Period. And now that I've embraced Stoicism, shit, you can't even catch me on a good day and hurt me. May like knock me off my gate a little bit, right? Like, but you're not gonna take me down. It's like fucking ricochet, and I keep moving. Because my why is bigger than any enemy. My why is bigger than any excuse. And I have conditioned my disciplines to not let me fail. So I realized long ago, I made a decision. To get to where I wanted to go, I needed to sell out. I needed to put it all on the table. I needed to go all in. And I made that decision. And today I was sitting in a movie. You're hearing all these quotes. So do you think I'm obsessive, right? Do you think I'm, all these like really like, do you think I'm gonna take your shit? And it's a Nike commercial, right? And at the end, it says winning isn't for everyone. And it's true. It is absolutely true. I am a stoic. I'm gonna remain ethically in line, but within that, nothing will stop me. Because I'm willing to fucking die. I'm willing to die in the pursuit of my passion. And everything else around me is fucking expendable. So here's the mission. Here's where I'm going. If you're too close, that's collateral damage. That's danger close. Because I am playing with fire. I do push the limit. I don't know where the edge is. I don't know how far I can push myself. I'm trying really fucking hard. I am trying. And all I'm doing is getting better, stronger, smarter, more balanced. So today I'm going to own up the fact the last 24 hours I have failed. The worst since I've started this journey. And today for me is July 9th. So I'm over 6 months in. This is a step back. But what this has done is, as I made that walk and as I started to process my thoughts and reflect that Stoicism teaches us, I realized I'm okay. This is my fate. If 4 of my kids have decided not to have a relationship with me, but yet on the other side, I'm surrounded by so many amazing people, I'm just going to keep vibrating who I am. And those that wish to join my party can. And those that wish to go on their own way, they can. Best to you. And on that, we're going to have a great day.